Okay, so we're in a GP-40 locomotive manufactured by the General Motors Corporation in about 1981. It smells heinous. It smells like human urine mixed with a little bit of that the urinal mints. You know, the urinal mint smell that they got to conceal the smell of piss, but it doesn't really do it. It just kind of blends in with it. And then you mix that with a little bit of the smell of burning electrical fire and off-gassing plastic. Now I want to show you the bag of trash right here. Right here we got a bag of trash that's about the size of a human corpse. You can see it's filled with fast food debris, plastic water bottles, and various railroad paperwork. Really, the smell here, I do want to emphasize, the smell is awful. It's a very heinous smell. It's burning my nostrils. And again, it's the smell of ammonia mixed with chemical fragrance and off-gassing plastic, as well as a slight hint of electrical fire. Now, let's go into the bathroom. I'll show you the bathroom right here. We got up here you can see the paint. The paint is probably the original coat that was put on in 1981, filled with a variety of toxic chemicals that have subsequently been banned by the EPA, probably not legal anymore. You can see they're also chipping off the top of the ceiling. There's mild water damage that's started to corrode the engine. Now this is where the magic happens. That's where the magic happens. Oh look, you can see there's a big wrench. You know, in case you get a crackhead coming up on the engine trying to get in, you could beat him in the head with it or something. Or any of the tweakers down in the San Jose area. Now this is where the magic happens. Like I said, you can see some spatters on the lid of the toilet. This is probably, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the most heinous smells I've ever smelled. Well, I've never smelled a human corpse, but this is somewhat close to it. It's very atrocious. Very fucking appalling. Let's get up close and take a look at that there. Oh, now you can see it's got a pump handle. Now, you couldn't pay me to touch that thing and actually pump. Say a turd got lodged there, you couldn't pay me to take a pump to pump that thing. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I don't know what the fuck this is for. Oh, there's some old toilet paper in there, probably 10 years old. It's very papery and kind of disintegrating in the can. It's really horrible. Just hasn't been cleaned in forever. I mean, this is basically my office while I'm at work, and it's part of the reason that I kind of want to die. It doesn't feel very good to be here. It's probably toxic. And were I to work this job for another 30 years, I'd probably die shortly after retiring. Okay, yeah, see, there you go. There, a General Motors Corporation, 19, you got a date on there? I can't really see it. It's about 1981. Now the interesting thing about this is that I actually, when I was a young delinquent, we actually broke in to the abandoned building, the complex, the General Motors complex, about a year or two after it had been abandoned. And, we're fucking around in it. Playing in it, spray paint and stuff. I was about 16, 15 years old, and I had no idea that at some point in my life later on, I'd be working in one of these moving shit cans that was actually manufactured in a factory that we were since then fucking around in. Now, since then, of course, it's been destroyed. It's not there anymore. It's just next to the quarry. It's in an industrial area in the southwest, near suburbs of Chicago. Near McCook and Lyons, which are in the town of Summit, also known as Scummit. It's somewhat bleak, but also a little bit charming of a blue-collar industrial area. Okay, now let's open up this cabinet over here and see what you got. Now, this is the source of much of the plastic fire smell that you get when you're in here. Again, there's just exposed wires behind these cabinets, and none of this, actually very little of this electrical work has been refurbished in the past 30 or 40 years. A lot of it's the original material that was built with the locomotive. It just, and again, these things frequently catch fire, and also the wires get hot and they melt the plastic casing on the wires, and you end up breathing it in. Probably very toxic. There's the main battery knife switch, if you can see that in there, and then all the circuit breakers, and of course you got this smell, all the plastic shit that's burning and constantly melting, and then you just got just a constant rain of particulate, just exhaust particulates coming in, and of course you can see it sometimes when they clean this vent, but you can see it sometimes blowing a little black soot out the air conditioner vent. Now I'm currently urinating off the side of the locomotive platform, which is actually one of the best things about driving trains, is actually being able to piss at about 60 miles per hour off the platform of the locomotive right there. Now you can see over here, this is just the outward shell of the engine. It's extremely loud. I'm probably going to suffer mild hearing loss for working around these things for 15 years. Now you can see the company logo is pretty hideous too. The color's yellow and red, but what does look nice is when there's been a fire in the back hood here, and everything's burnt up, the paint is peeling, and the reflective tape is off, etc., etc. It's a very nice rustic touch to it.